She, can you make me a host for recording?
Lavanya, I'm already recording.
Okay, fine.
She, am I audible? All the delegates are requested to unmute and switch on their camera. Is everyone audible? And am I audible to you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Should we start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, greetings delegates. I'm your chairperson and we have Devanshi online.
Your vice chairperson.
Devanshi, unmute.
Yes.
So, how many of you are first timers? How many of you don't know about the ROPs and procedure, code of conduct? Do you want us to explain the ROPs first? Explain the agenda?
Yes, it would be helpful.
The Should I proceed with the ROPs? Can I have a consensus? We still have people who have not switched on their cameras. Can we have them online, please? Did you all read the BG? Your vice chair provided the BG in the group we have. How many of you did the BG? Is it clear or you have any queries regarding the BG? The background guide. Can I get the responses, please?
Delegates, if you've read the BG, please raise your hands.
Delegates, did you all read the background guide? If yes, please raise your hand.
Please raise your hands.
One. Only one person read the BG. Into the basics, did you guys understand the agenda? If you haven't read the BG.
Delegates, if you have any problem with the agenda, please let us know and we will discuss.
Or we shall continue with the please.
Can I ask a question on the agenda?
Okay, so we'll continue with explaining the agenda. So as our agenda states that right to privacy amidst the pandemic with special attention to government's efforts to contract tracing. Okay, so our background guide is divided into 4 parts: right to privacy, pandemic, contract tracing, and digital surveillance. How does it affect right to privacy? First of all, what is right to privacy? The right to privacy is an element of various legal traditions to restrain governmental and private actions that threaten the privacy of an individual. Right to privacy is a very basic term. I hope all you understand that. Next comes a pandemic. A pandemic is a sudden outbreak that becomes very widespread and affects the whole region, a continent, or the world due to a suspectable population. It's a disease, an outbreak that spreads quickly and affects many individuals at the same time. And our current pandemic is COVID-19. Next comes contract tracing. See, in public health, contract tracing is the process of identifying people who are infected or have come in contact with an infected person and subsequent collection of their information about these contacts. By tracing these contacts of infected individuals and testing them for infection and treating the infected and tracing their contacts, the public health aims to reduce infections in population. Contract tracing has been a pillar of communicable diseases in controlling diseases for decades. For example, the eradication of smallpox. And how is digital surveillance affecting right to privacy? See, digital surveillance is basically being done by different apps, etc., which have been launched by the government. For example, in India, the government launched the Ayogya Setu app, and it's being used to monitor the infected people and how they are traveling from one place to another. So basically, we're just seeing that how is digital surveillance affecting the right to privacy, because many at times our information is being leaked. So not to feel affected by this, we are basically going to discuss how is it affecting right to privacy, what are the pros and cons of digital surveillance. If anybody has any doubts till now, please let us know. It's all explained in the background guide, which I hope you all have read.
And the background guide also consists of the sites you need to use. Please don't go for Wikipedia. I've mentioned in the PG, and I've told some of you personally, don't go for Wikipedia. Use only UN certified sites. Keep that in mind. And when you start your research, start making subtopics, because when we discuss, we need moderate caucus topic. I guess you all know what's a moderated caucus. Is there any doubt regarding that?
Those who don't know what's a moderated caucus, please don't be shy, raise your hand or just drop a message. We can explain what's a moderated caucus.
Okay, let's start explaining it from the beginning if you guys are hesitating to ask. See, when we open the committee, we'll throw motions on the floor and we'll ask, what do you want us to do? That's the motion. You have to raise a motion. And is someone saying something? We'll throw a motion on the floor and you guys have to decide whether we start with a GSL or you guys want a moderated caucus. GSL is the general speakers list. Are you guys aware of that? I guess your vice chair had an session with you, some of you guys yesterday, and she explained you some of the procedures. So I guess the first timers know now how it goes. The GSL never stops. Throughout the 3 days, we'll have GSLs, and you can speak as number of times as you want. There's no foundations to it. Next come moderated caucus. In moderated caucus, you have to raise
One thing in GSL,
Vineet, can you please mute your audio? Thank you.
Yeah. in moderated caucus, we'll have subtopics and we'll break the agenda into subtopics and we'll be discussing points which you guys have either from your country or from the agenda. That depends upon you people. When you break the agenda, you'll get your subtopics and you have to start making it now because we need the moderated caucus to go on just like the GSL. And when we don't have topics on the floor, we'll continue with the GSL. That's what the UNA USA process is. UNA USA UNA USA format. Sorry. Yeah. So, do you guys know what
You were
countries we
following
have?
H-Man, no?
No, we are not following H1, sir. I just gave the information that we are not following H1 anymore.
Oh, okay.
Are you participating, sir? Is it final from your side?
No, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe.
Okay, sir. Do you guys know what all countries we have? What is the allotment list? Did you guys read about it? Because you have to start lobbying, make your blocks. Because at the end of the day, lobbying carries marks and you'll be marked according to it. Is there any doubt or query or question regarding ROP or agenda or anything? Speak up, guys. It is an interactive session.
Exactly, guys. Please speak up if you have any doubts or anything you want us to
Please check the
discuss.
chat. Someone has asked you a question.
For the GSL also downloaded.
Could you let me in? I got disconnected. Yeah, sure, good. Just a second.
There's a question on Zoom chat.
Sorry?
There is a question on Zoom chat. Someone has asked.
In GSL, how long can a country give a speech? 90 minutes. Position papers, your last date of submission is on 25th of June, the day before the conference starts. The people who know what the position paper is. Any doubts regarding the position paper? Or is there anything you guys want us to do? Meet, you are not.
Can you give a brief on the position paper and the question of the
Sorry, I got
GSL?
disconnected.
And one question is this GSL, how long can a country give a speech? It should be like 90 seconds, you know. If a person can give a session, we want. Yes, on that.
Is everyone able to hear him?
No.
There's something wrong with your audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, much better now.
Yes. Yes.
So in GSL, how long can a country give a speech? It should be 90 seconds now. Or
Yeah,
No,
it's
90
90
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know who
Seconds,
wrote
Sorry. Yeah,
It's 90
my bad.
seconds.
And
Yeah.
and can you give a brief on position paper? Sorry, if you have written somewhere, that's fine. I can just see that, or else if you can give a brief now. In a brief description, like what to write and all in position paper.
Right. So in a position paper, you just have to
You want to
describe the
brief
topic.
for the
Your
position paper? I didn't get you.
Yeah, means I think so. Devanshi was answering.
Yeah, I'll just explain. You just have to describe the agenda, your country's stand and position, like what all your country is doing. For example, in India, the government has launched Arogya Setu app. So you can describe that and the possible solutions, what you think is important for this agenda. These are all the things you need to write in the
Do
position
you guys
paper.
have any queries?
Right.
You'll
So those of you who
get
don't know
the
what a position paper
itinerary by
is,
tomorrow.
yeah. A position paper is a document describing your topic in which you have to write, explain your agenda, your country's stand and position, how is your country managing the situation, and what are all the possible solutions you think. And it's important to write a position paper for each of your topics, because it will help you gain insight and prepare you for the conference.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Welcome. Any other doubts, or should we move forward?
Is there any like page limit or like some restrictions for the position paper?
No, there's nothing as such. I can share a format with you guys so that you know the format and for the first timers basically. Do you want
It
that?
should be
Yeah.
ideally it should be one page. It is a brief summary of all your research, basically.
Exactly.
I
Okay.
explained some to you yesterday for the position paper.
I'm sorry, yeah, I think most of us did not attend it yesterday, including me.
No problem. Actually, for yesterday, we just had for the first timers, there were only 4 to 5 people. No problem.
And for the ROPs, we thought of taking another session tomorrow if you guys have no issues regarding that. Or you want us to continue here?
I guess
All the
continue.
first timers, whatever doubts you have, please let us know. Don't be shy.
And there's another suggestion from our side. Start lobbying, start texting each other. You know the allotment list already. We have it on our group. Check
It's
it
already
out.
shared on the group.
Exactly. I'll provide you the format
It will be shared on the group after the meeting.
so that everyone can have it.
Yeah, we'll share an example.
Any other confusion or doubt? Anything?
I hope all of you are clear with the 4 points. Those who are the first timers, explain there are 4 points in the meeting. First is the point of personal privilege. A delegate may raise a point of personal privilege in case of any kind of personal discomfort. Second is a point of parliamentary inquiry. A delegate may raise a point of parliamentary inquiry